And obviously there's a number of people, different backgrounds working on a project, there's bound to be issues that arise, problems that need to be solved. This must have been an interesting experience because of the different backgrounds that everyone had, the approaches to problem solving. Can you describe how that was for you?
Well, it was the best experience in my life, actually. I've worked on many building sites with many very good people. But to work on this building site was unique. It was a unique experience. On a general building site, if you find a problem or discover something that is not quite right, there's a lot of finger pointing going on and saying it was his fault or that was somebody else's fault. But if we found a problem on this building, we'd talk to the supervisor and you say, okay, let's find an answer. Nobody was criticized, nobody was accused of doing something wrong. We just had to find the answer and finish the project. And it was such a refreshing way of working. It was so simple. It was just everybody had their focus of completing this project in the best and the most effective and efficient way possible. And it was just so easy in a sense that, you know, the work was hard, but the way that it was carried out was so beautiful and easy.
So did you get a special feeling from working so closely to something that's so holy to you?
Yes and no, in a sense. Yes, every time I walked from home to work, I had to walk past the shrine and I knew where I was. But when you're actually working on the building, you just had to focus on the job at hand and lay tiles. You actually, if you thought about what you're doing on what the building was, you'd be distracted. So your whole focus had to be on laying these special tiles, and it was a big challenge. There was 3 of us laying the tiles, and then after we'd laid the tiles, a grouting crew would come through and grout the tiles behind us, and so we just had to concentrate on laying these tiles. And it was very interesting the day that we laid the last tile. We had been, you know, for 3-4 months, our sole concentration was just putting these tiles on this dome, and suddenly we put the last tile on, and we thought, what do we do now? You know, it's done. And we all just sat around and we just didn't want to go home. We just kind of felt that, you know, we've done this such magnificent thing. The most rewarding thing that I felt while working there was this, working with these young people, these volunteers who were there from all these different countries, and their dedication and their enthusiasm about working.
Right.
No matter what you asked them, they would do it without question. We were working on scaffold that it's basically the height of a 10-story building. And every time, if you climbed all the way up the scaffold and you realized you'd forgotten something, you had to ask somebody to go and get it. And these guys would go and pick it up, and they wouldn't complain, saying, oh, I did it yesterday, why don't you get somebody else? You ask them, immediately they'll do what you ask. It was such a wonderful crew. And I mean, if the whole world worked like this, we'd have no problems.
It's that sense of service.
Sense of service and sense of dedication to what
yes.
they were doing, and
yes.
self-sacrifice. And some of the jobs were difficult and very hard, and these kids just did it without question.